Hey everybody, and welcome back to my playthrough of the Baldur's Gate Saga with SCS done in a completionist style. And of course we have much to do in this episode, but first I actually thought about what we're going to do a little bit more in detail, and I'm just quickly going to go back to Hedge to make some last minute purchases before we actually head off to south to Nashkel. Because I think I'm going to keep Nira for a little bit longer than I thought I would. So let's just do this quickly. Of course, Jaheira is surely going to start nagging about going to Nashkel very soon, most likely. I am going to buy these 3 potions of explosions, and I would like to get a blindness spell for Nira, and without buffing her intelligence, let's see if she manages to learn it. Alright, she did. So now I'm going to like unmemorize these sleeps, but I don't know, maybe before resting they might come in handy still. Alright, so let's just go. Actually, I am going to rest right now. What am I even talking about? Yeah, so here's Jaheira's second reminder about Nashkel. Still we have not gone to Nashkel. Where do you get this streak of laziness? Gorion was a man of action and conviction. Well, I wasn't lazy. I actually accomplished quite a bit. We actually managed to do quite a few things in the area. We've had some good adventures and stuff. Actually, let's go all blind, because let me think about this. I think we're going to fight some guys that blind might come in handy. Alright, so rested for 8 hours. Let's heal Sinashira. Now we're going to quickly, very quickly, just go to the Lathander temple. There's no travel time involved here, at least, and check out the temple. And primarily, of course, to hand in the Basilis's holy symbol. Here's a vestibule, and there's... I'm just going to show you. There are like 2 cleaners there that you can just talk to. They have their own names, Blaine and Bram, I think. Who might you be? Nobody important. Go see Keldath for temple business. I just clean the floors. Yeah, and the other one is also a janitor, I guess. Here's a pretty funny guy, a drunk.
Yes, indeed.
That I haven't shown before because we haven't explored this western area. There's also still this area. I don't know if I can't remember if I talked about this. Here in this corner there's a pack of wolves, pretty powerful ones, because they have 2 vampiric wolves with them, and vampiric wolves are immune to non-magical weapons, and they can also paralyze on hit and are pretty tough, so we're not yet really equipped to deal with them with no trouble. Because, you know, I really don't like relying on like saving and reloading and stuff like that, so I like to go into fights where I know we are equipped to deal with them, you know, pretty handily. Alright, so here's a drunk. Hello guys, how are you doing? Kinda got lost on my way home. Anyways, that's don't matter no more. Give me all your monies. Look fella, we're not going to give you all of our money. Wrong answer, girls. You should have given me the monies when I asked you. You know what I am? I'll tell you. I'll let you in a little secret. I'm a lich. Yes, I am. Powerful magic I wields. And now you've made me mad. You've got one last chance. Give me all your money. I guess if you're a lich, we're going to have to kill you. Whoa, you guys just don't get it, do you? I'm gonna kill you with my almighty magical powers. So now's what it's gonna be. Death or something. Go to hell, you old bum. And he just falls down unconscious. For being so wasted. Here is an NPC a project addition and a character that's going to be involved in one of the later quests once we have Koran in our party. So she's called Rachel, and you can ask her some things, but she is not really going to tell us anything of substance. Just some general information. And of course she tells us about
Your concern?
the head of this temple, Keldath Ormler, who's inside.
Yes, it is done.
Here he is. I always like the music here and the general look of it. Anyway, you might recognize Anomen's voice actor here.
Welcome! The traveling adventurer is never turned away from a house of Lothander.
Welcome! So we actually didn't visit this place before, so of course he has his whole quest related conversation, or just basically one monologue telling us about Bacillus and the reward and whatnot. But here, since we already have his holy symbol, it just says, "By the morning, Lord, I see that you have the holy symbol of Bacillus. It must have been a difficult battle to take down such a powerful man. Yours is a service that will not soon be forgotten. It is a pleasure to give you the full reward for which you have worked." Yeah, and Jaheira just makes note of the opulence from the Lathanderites, because Lathander is a good aligned god of creativity and generosity, and generally it's also reflected in Baldur's Gate 2 that the worshippers of Lathander like to be generous and basically give a lot when it comes to their charity and rewards. Alright, so we got 5,000 gold, of course, as was the deal, and 1,000 experience for that.
Don't touch me. I'm super important.
I love that line. Don't touch me. I'm super important. The traveling adventurer is never turned away from a house of Lathander. A little bit of BG1 NPC Project again. Gaze upon the sun as it rises, elf. It is born anew every morn, here and everywhere in this world, on this plane. Rejoice, for you are blessed by its rays. And there is always a new dawn. So he also has 4 of these bigger potions, some elixirs of health, another stone to flesh scroll. You know what, I might actually just buy 1 more just to be sure if anyone gets petrified. And just for later if I forget. Because there are some people to unpetrify in the game. Right, so that's it.
Indeed.
When it comes to this area. Now, I also forgot about 2 people actually in the area south of Beregost. Not only Bub Snicked, but also there's a boy whose conversation I didn't show, I think. So in this area, and he's right here. I'm not sure if I just didn't notice him or what happened there, but here's Shelly
said not to talk with strangers.
picking fruit for mommy, apparently. Isn't it dangerous for you to be out here? Yeah, I suppose. I'm fast though, and town is only a little ways away. So yeah, basically telling us a little bit about the bandits.
Yes?
And the town being safe. And here, somewhere in the area, is a... oh yeah, here he is.
Certainly.
The hunter, who's supposed to be a reference to Wolverine, because of the Bub apparently being a nickname, or something Wolverine gives, and Snicked is apparently supposed to be like an onomatopoeia for his claws. Anyway, he basically tells us about the 2 Ogrillians on the road, so he's able to, track them pretty well. You seem to know the area pretty well. Do you have any clues about the Iron Crisis? He's not interested in politics, and pretty much like any... if you want to recruit him, he just tells you that he works alone. Pretty much every, I think, dialogue option is kind of some reference, I guess.
I am here.
So he doesn't need metal to hunt or to kill. Alright, so let's finally progress further down south.
Indeed.
This is an area that's considered to be largely useless because there's no like quest content or no like bigger fights. There is one fight with a group of Hobgoblins, and the enhanced edition, I mean, one covered Durlax Tower and this area.
Certainly.
But the enhanced edition added a little conclusion to that one guy in Beregost's worries, that Mr. Colquette, I think was his name. Actually, let Jaheira go forward. But also, there's no content when it comes to fights and all that, but
What is it this
we
time?
have these blinds, okay.
My turn to save the day.
But
I am
there are
It is done.
two... well, that wasn't too effective.
Your concern?
Yes.
Jaheira,
Omnipresent authority figure. Stand back.
you need to make that archer
I
stop
am certainly.
shooting at us. Anyway, I was about to say that there are two notable NPCs here with whom you can have a nice conversation. You know, they have some unique lines.
Your indeed.
Alright, so quite a few Hobgoblins. They can have, you know, the usual Hobgoblin minor treasures. So I'm just going to quickly pick those up. Pick up some arrows, I guess.
Yes?
And here, among these killed people here, from some ambushed caravan or maybe just some travelers, there's a necklace to pick up. And here is Colquette's family amulet.
You must show respect in nature's house.
So we will give that to Imon to hold on to, so we don't accidentally sell it because it looks like an ordinary amulet
I
or
am
necklace. Anyway, now here's a pretty... Well, we're going to have to progress a little bit further south. Whoops, that's not really good leading
Here.
with
It is done. Yes?
Imon there.
I am
These
here.
archers, I am going to use sleep on them because they can be
What is my turn?
pretty nasty, especially on these lower levels. Alright,
You stand back and watch this.
I am your
no
concern.
worries.
Yes, indeed.
You can start looting already. You can get some of these scalps for later. Later we'll be able to sell these scalps in chapter 3. If we progress further south here, there's going to be a pretty funny character with some classic lines. Some classic Baldur's Gate 1 lines. Right, here he is. He's a hermit
I am certain.
called Portal Bendar Winden. So let's talk to him.
Oh, my lung! It's flopping all over the dirt!
Anyway, get out of my yard, you hooligans. Kinda hard to be a hermit when people keep pestering for hints about the nature of existence. Read a book, people. So, actually, first I'm going to talk with him being very, like, peaceful, because after that you can talk to him again, and I can show off some pretty funny lines after that. So, my apologies for disturbing your peace. No doubt you are so isolated because you wish to remain alone. Oh yes, that and my disturbing personal habits. As well, people don't mind advice when they're looking for it, but having someone around continually spouting proverbs and truisms really puts a damper on the picnic. It's worse than when the ants steal the cheese, if you know what I mean. Eh? Eh? Wow, you're really hard to look at. Your insults are misplaced. I only wish to speak, and you could have simply said no. I will leave you. He's like, wait, I'm sorry, but you have misconstrued my meaning. A bit blunt I am at times, but I shall speak plain if you wish. I meant that your aura is hard to look at. It is exceptionally volatile. You are at odds with yourself in a most literal fashion. I've not seen another such as you, though I get the feeling that your type does not live exceptionally long. I would predict a violent end for you, but I can see nothing of your future. It would seem that your Cohen is on edge. enough chatter. I've wasted too much of your time and mine, believe me. So this is something that I mentioned when we read this book about the fateful coin story, that some people, here I should be showing this, that some people's coin lands on an edge, and that means that they can forge their own destiny. But there's also something like kind of disturbing and ominous here, that we are at odds with ourselves apparently, and our aura is hard to look at. Anyway, we can actually talk to him again. He gives us the same opening, and we can actually ask him about any insights we might benefit from. He says, insights. Never take raisins from rabbits, never spit in a man's face unless his mustache is on fire, and don't take any wooden knickers unless you've a good supply of salve. Never spit in a man's face unless his mustache is on fire. That's a classic. And of course here, that's the classic protagonist response here. Okay, I've just about had my fill of riddle-asking, quest-assigning, insult-throwing, pun-hurling, hostage-taking, ironmongering, smart-ass fools, freaks, and felons that continually test my will, mettle, strength, intelligence, and most of all, patience. If you've got a straight answer anywhere in that bent little head of yours, I want to hear it pretty damn quick, or I'm going to take a large blunt object roughly the size of Elminster and his hat, and stuff it lengthwise into a crevice of your being so seldom seen that even the denizens of the 9 hells themselves wouldn't touch it with a 20-foot rusty halberd. Have I made myself perfectly clear? And he's like, well, someone certainly woke up on the wrong side of the realms this morning. And basically says the same thing about our coin being on edge, but now he just will disappear. Now he's busy, and we won't be able to initiate, well, he's going to just walk away. We won't be able to initiate any further conversation with him. So yeah, some pretty classic lines from good old
Yes, certainly.
Portal, Ben Darwinden. Alright. Another ghoul bites the dust. And there's another unique character to have a conversation with. And there are some kobold archers who can be a bit nasty. So let's have Jahira approach first.
Certainly. Yes?
You might be thinking I'm way too cautious with some of these early level opponents, but you've seen what happened with that Gibberling. It's just like, all it takes is just one
I am here.
bad moment with like 2 quick hits from these guys, and
Your concern.
especially when it comes to these squishy party members like Nira or Imoen. Although Imoen already has a level up, so she's not that squishy, but especially when it comes to those, you can really die very quickly in the game on these low levels. Once we've built up a bit of a health pool, and everyone has like level 2 or 3 at least, then I'm not going to be so cautious, and I just don't want to have any embarrassing deaths anymore after that Gibberling champion. Alright, so here's going to be Lord Foreshadow.
Don't touch me.
Yes,
I
certainly.
might catch something.
Well, don't you just add to the local color. Quite the smashing bit of dress you wear there. I'll have to look into such sundries when I next attend one of Lord Ribald's full-dress costume affairs. I'd be the talk of Neverwinter, I would. So basically, depending on which conversation option you pick here, he's either going to, as his name implies, Lord Foreshadow, he's going to foreshadow the events of either Baldur's Gate 2 or Neverwinter Nights. So let's ask him about Neverwinter, I guess. Am I to understand that you are from that faraway city? Oh, I actually hail from Waterdeep. The great city of splendors has much more in the matter of social luxuries suited towards my particular tastes. I do, however, make a point of keeping in touch with Neverwinter, though I have only visited once previously. It was quite popular in those nights, if I recall correctly, Neverwinter nights. I'm going to make a second trip in the coming year, and I wager it will be as popular again.
I am here.
So, if you... oh, and then BG1 NPC Project. Can we go there someday, huh? Sounds like fun. Well, perhaps. We'll have to see what fortune favors. So Imo is going to start making plans for that. And well, let's just... yeah, we have everything here.
Indeed.
Anyway, what I wanted to say, if you ask him about... if you choose a different conversation option, he actually will talk about Amn, and that there are certainly going to be some interesting events soon happening in Amn. So he actually foreshadows more than one game. Alright, so finally we can uncover Nashkel, and let's head right on in. This intro cinematic for Nashkel is completely different in the Enhanced Edition. In the Classics you would basically have a farmer family being displayed, and some kobolds sneaking in.
With your hurried flight from Candlekeep barely behind you, the troubles facing the Sword Coast seem an unfamiliar blur to your fractured nerves. Gorion would not have you sit idle, however, and perhaps investigating local concerns will shed some light on your own predicament. How the iron shortage or the trouble in the Nashkel mines could possibly be linked to you, you have no idea.
And perhaps investigating the local concerns is going to shed some light
It
indeed.
is done.
First off, let's just quickly uncover the area to the west. Here's a Svart village in there. And I guess let's enter.
Yes,
We're going to have some conversations to do.
Stand away, citizen.
certainly.
First with the captain of the guard, I guess, Bardolin. Identify yourselves! We are the party of Senashira, seeking a place to rest between adventures. Or, we can actually, let's go with this one. This is my band of fellow adventurers. I hear that this is a troubled region of late. Allow me to put ourselves at your disposal during our stay here. If you're seeking to resolve troubles, welcome. If you're seeking to cause them, kindly take it elsewhere. Things are not good here, Senashira. What things aren't good? All I've heard are rumors and vague suspicions. Aye, what is good around here anymore? Our iron is rotten, and there is talk of demons in the mines. The lower levels have been all but abandoned until this crisis passes. And then there is the question of Commander Bragg, or Brage. I always say Bragg. I'm not sure if that's the correct pronunciation. They have stripped him of that title, but I use it yet. He killed his wife and children in a rage one night, and all who saw him. Then he tore himself away and headed for the hills. He is out there still, and still we mourn, as much for him as for those he's taken. Fie on you now, you have brought tears to the eyes of a soldier. So yeah, this is an interesting quest with Commander Bragg, an interesting case that we're going to solve later. Senashira, I refuse to believe that any man in his right mind would slay his own kin. Yeah, he's... well, we're going to discover what happened there. Here's Rasad, the new NPC from the Enhanced Edition. We're not going to talk with him. He's actually going to talk with us at one point, a little bit later, once we return to Nashkel at a slightly later point.
A pleasure.
Here is
to meet such an
Taris,
acceptable person,
who's
Master
another Enhanced Edition...
Your concern, indeed.
she's actually have a pretty cute voice actress here.
Oh, you haven't seen a man about this tall and this wide, have you? That lout.
That loud. Sorry, I can't help you. She's involved with another Enhanced Edition NPC. And here we're going to meet yet another person who wants to harm us.
Uh-huh. My turn to save the day.
What is it?
I
Well,
certainly.
let's try to spread out at least a little bit here.
What? It may be a touch unladylike, but I'm gonna slit your throat, I am.
Maybe a touch unladylike. Well, slitting someone's throat, I would agree with you, that is a touch unladylike. Anyway, with SCS she initiates that conversation from a distance. Just fancy my luck seeing you stroll in here, bold as day. I expected a hunt and a chase from the description, but who am I to argue easy coins in the purse? May the Lord of Shadows guide you swiftly to your death. So of course we have a couple of conversation options. Well, I will defend myself if I must. If you wish to die, then attack as you will. By all means defend as you wish. If you were to simply lay down and die, there should be no intrigue in this profession at all. So she's a level 5 cleric, I think.
By your command,
Your concern.
And she's probably going to start out with the usual
this would be a good place for a bench.
What is it this time?
hold person. Let's try to blind her and just use some ranged attacks to maybe disrupt her spells. She has remove here, bless, and armor of faith. I think I wrongly said, I think if I remember correctly, I said that armor of faith only reduces physical damage. It reduces generally damage, even magic sources of damage too. And it's 5% per 5 levels. So it's not a great boost that she has there coming from that.
Yes, it is done.
Okay, spell failed. Let's Senashira head on in. she saved versus our blindness. That's kind of the problem of blindness in SCS. A lot of opponents that would be worth blinding actually have quite good saves. But it's still, in this area I switched her spells to some blinds because a couple of fights that I'm planning to do soon involve opponents that are immune to sleep because they're level 5 or 6. So sleep wouldn't be useful anyway, plus we have the Wand of Sleep. Yeah, there are some like minor treasures now that... Alright, Imoen interjects, or has a conversation. Who was that? So, another assassin. This is the 6th. I met with 2 before leaving Candlekeep, 1 right after leaving Candlekeep, and that mage on the doorstep on the friendly Armin, and the dwarf in the red sheaf. You mean even inside the walls of Candlekeep you were attacked? Why didn't you tell me this before you left? I didn't want to worry you. Oh, well, have you tag along with me? That's a little rude. I tried to, but you say you were too busy. There should be like a third option. And you let that stop you? You really need to get a backbone, girl. Being a little sassy there, huh? Like, If you can't stand up to me, how you expect to stand up to your husband? Husband, what brought this on? Yeah, don't worry, I'm pushy enough as it is. You can say that again. Did you say something? Nope, not a thing. Alright, so...
Certainly.
There's going to be some minor treasures that are generally like not worth the risk because there's a couple of, you know, NPCs walking around that can see us. Yeah, like 9 gold. But now, actually, Imoen has 75 opening locks, so she can actually open some stuff. You can see we get some very minor experience for opening locks. Anyway, we could rest here, but I think I'm going to keep going for a while. Now we have another bounty notice from Neira there. Let's give these scalps to her. She has a helmet of infravision, which is basically serves just to be sold or having like a cooler looking helmet. I guess just a normal club. And yeah, the bounty notice. So we were last seen in the region of Beregost. This person is to be killed in quick order. The subject is to be considered a formidable foe and is likely to have well-equipped traveling companions. So of course the description also kind of updates. And now we're worth 680 coins of gold. Going up in value.
It is done.
It's nighttime, so Kivin has this NPC project, Banter. Let me just quickly skim through these options. I don't know, let's go with this one. He's becoming increasingly elfy. And I'm not sure if well, we're probably going to have him long enough for him to trigger some more banters like this, but he's going to be more and more elfy. And talking about all this elfiness, about the stars and forests and the grasses and trees and all the beautiful nature that reminds him of something, and yeah. Right, so we can ask him about yet another elfy name of elfiness. He's from Shilmista, so that is a celebration that Dain Tag fear, I guess. So of course you're free to pause to read this. As you can see, I'm not a great fan of these conversations, like I've said before, but it's not a big deal. I do not miss the place, Senashira. However, I do miss those whose shadows still linger there. My Deheriana, my brothers, my father. You have your own ghosts, though, Senashira, and you have no need to meet with mine. And again, the elfie thing. Kila Amin. Follow me, we should catch up with the rest. I'm exaggerating, of course, a little bit. It's not so bad. I just am not the biggest fan of elves in general. Anyway, it's been 30 minutes. I think I'm going to end this episode here, and we're going to explore more of Nashkel and the surrounding areas in the next episode. So I'll see you then, and thanks for watching.